Fuck.
Yeah.
I gonna sue her.
2020, everyone's favorite year, where nothing bad happened whatsoever.
Yeah, nothing definitely bad happened. No COVID, no people dying around the world, no Donald Trump being president of the United States, and then electing someone with dementia. Nothing like that absolutely happened.
No teams Zverev final.
Oh, we'll get to that, believe me.
Oh, we will get to that. My favorite, because he lost.
So starting in
To get out of
Australia,
that, he lost.
the Grand Slam before the purge of 2020. So first of all, Djokovic got to play 500-year-old Federer in the semi-finals, and most importantly, in the final, team was up 2-1 and breakpoint. Novak was playing absolutely horrible. He looked pretty dehydrated, and team totally let him off the hook. He played like a fucking bitch, if we're being honest, and he completely let Novak back into the match.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think we all know what happened in that situation. Novak again finding ways to win, whipped out his cock. Him got distracted, very aroused, very turned on. Yeah, he just lost all concentration by that. I can see why Novak's wife is very lucky to have him.
Can you do your Djokovic impersonation?
See if I can try. You put me on the spot here. Well, it's tough coming out here in the crowd. But I try my best to really throw out my heart and soul. I win the Oz Open every day, and I hope I can continue to impress the crowd and whip my cock out. Thank you, Australia. I don't know, was that good? Was that shit?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, anything for you, Matt?
All right, let's go on to the next one.
Everyone's favorite tournament with the greatest final ever seen, the 2020 US Open.
It was before the French Open, which was really weird.
Yeah, for some fucking reason, we just decided, hey, let's switch Roland Garros with the US Open, because why not? People love the US Open. No one likes the US Open.
I like the US Open.
Shut the fuck up. No one asked you for your opinion.
All right, no one likes the Australian Open. I'm just kidding. I think everyone likes the Australian Open.
I think everyone likes you.
Thank you.
So where do we even begin with a tournament that was played after a 6 months break, in which players had basically spent 6 months playing Call of Duty Warzone and eating cheesy Wotsits? So there were no crowds whatsoever.
Novak got suspended.
Yes, Novak Djokovic, who had not lost one match the entire year, was defaulted. Now, I don't give a fuck if you think it should have been a default or not. He was obviously going to win that tournament.
I guarantee you she had like a sports bet option where she picked Pablo to win. And she was like, oh no, my shoulder, it fucking hurts. Ah.
Yeah, she got like death threats after that shit.
Hell, you know what? If there was an acting class, she would be definitely a part of that class.
Yeah, she's the teacher.
Yeah, she's the teacher, and she's even bad at her job before. You know what? I can applaud her for one good job that she's probably done in her entire life. You know what that is?
You don't know?
I'm on the edge.
No, I do know. I was just wanted to hear your guys' opinions if you wanted to know or not. You know.
Well, she looks like she's starred in like a lesbian porn film.
Yeah, but more importantly, she's
looks
good
like
in the kitchen.
I directed it.
Oh shit!
Aaron, you're the type of guy that directs all type of porn star movies.
Of course I am. Why do you think I'm here doing this?
Wait, what?
I think we do have to talk about that US Open 2020 final.
You want to talk more about it?
Yeah, because
no,
please can talk about
let's
it.
Move
because
on.
Let's talk about it, please. Zverev lost that final. I want to talk shit about him.
All right, let loose.
Please. Yay! Anyway, Zverev is a piece of shit. A spineless piece of shit. Didn't deserve to make the final. Choked it, which was the best part. And all I say is I pray to the tennis gods every day because Zverev lost. Zverev has no bitches. Well, used to have bitches, but decided to be a pimp and beat the shit out of them. Thank you, team.
There are chokes, and then there's being up 6-2, 6-4, 2-1 on your serve, 30-15, and losing. That isn't even a choke at that point.
Yeah,
that's just shitting all over yourself.
He's known for making history for that in Grand Slams, including the Australian Open this year as well.
Yeah, and not even losing to like a big three member, losing to Dominic Thiem.
He mad of all fucking people.
And I'd like to comment from the man himself, Mehdi, that Dominic Thiem was so ashamed after winning that final that he's just never played at that level again. And now he's 200th in the world. That's how ashamed he is.
The man that turned a guy from a Grand Slam champion to being disabled.
Joe Biden or Dominic Thiem?
You said Joe Biden or Dominic Thiem?
Yeah.
Probably Dominic Thiem.
Yeah, let's go with that. Joe Biden's perfectly healthy and fit to run as the free leader of the world. Joke
And the
on
French Open. Where do we even begin with the twit?
French Open played at a time when it was dark as shit, cloudy everywhere, windy as shit.
And Nadal was still gay. Can't forget about that part.
Yeah, Nadal's always
Rescheduled to
gay.
be 4 months ahead, and the clay sniffer himself skipping his US Open title defence just so he could stat pat another Roland Garros title. I think that's absolutely disgusting, personally.
Yeah, it is, to be honest.
Anyway,
I mean,
next Grand Slam, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's COVID.
Roland Garros 2020 is kind of. I think everyone should just skip over it.
Yeah, but
I
I think we
agree.
all know who.
And 2021 Australian Open, when some crowds were allowed at certain times if they were wearing the right clothes. And there's two pretty obvious points here. One is that this was when Djokovic realised that he couldn't win Australian Opens semi-legitimately, so he had to start full-on cheating. This is the year he first started faking injuries to throw his opponents off.
What kind of injuries did he have?
So against Taylor Fritz, leading 2-0, he slipped and tore his abdomen in finger quotes. And Fritz in the deciding set felt so bad for him, they just decided to let him win the deciding set 6-2.
And then you had Aslan Karatsev, who played like a fucking G all tournament.
Continuing the pattern of incredibly weak semi-final opponents in the Australian Open. And as we saw this year, when an actually on-form good opponent plays Novak, we all see what happens in the semi-finals. So
yeah, when Carrot Top fucking beat his ass. Yeah, Karatsev had a pretty good start of the year, at least like first half of the year after that Australian Open semifinal.
Didn't he go on to win a title?
His year would include getting his revenge against everyone's favourite Serbian in his home country, beating him in Belgrade, where he would make the final. And it did also include an Olympic silver medal in the mixed doubles that year.
He's just showing up Djokovic in every aspect.
Yeah, Djokovic doesn't even have a silver medal. He has a bronze medal. I'm also like 99% sure that it was Karatsev's doubles team that beat Djokovic and Stojanovic. So not only did he beat him, he then went to show him up by getting a silver medal.
And then he decided to not do anything ever again.
Aside from beat Andy Murray in the Sydney final. So fuck you, Aslan. Fuck you.
Sorry, shit. Anyway, going on to the next tournament, which I believe it was Roland Garros.
There's so many asterisks for this one. It looks like you've typed the N word in a Counter-Strike chat. Where do we even begin? So in the fourth round, with 2-year-old newborn fetus Lorenzo Musetti leading by 2-0, he basically shit his diaper, nappy, whatever you call it. And he was so injured he couldn't even finish the match, even though it was going by in like 5 minutes because Djokovic won like 12 games in a row after going back 2-0. And in fact, Musetti, after the tournament, needed a ride on Djokovic's private jet so he could go and finish his fucking schoolwork. So yeah, that doesn't count. On to the semi-final. Let's face it, we all know Nadal was injured.
Yeah.
We want to say that for like every tournament, every match he plays.
We could, but this is one of the most egregious examples. He did not play for 3 months after this match. He played one tournament, played 2 matches there, and then he didn't play for the rest of the year. And he beat him in the final of the year before in straight sets. He beat him the year after in dominant fashion. So I think it's pretty clear that this was a flash in the pan.
When he was not playing after that, he was probably just injecting a lot of steroids trying to get back to top form.
Yeah, oh, believe me, we'll get into that. I have a lot to say about next year's French Open as well. This tournament has basically been an absolute joke this decade. And then in the final, we all know what happened with Mr. Shits His Pants, leading 2-0 and playing pretty well through the third set. Loses a long-ass service game, loses the set, and then he basically falls apart because he was cry-wanking over Badosa and trying to work up the courage to ask her out a few years later.
Do you know if he took a shit in the middle of the match?
Novak actually did after Tsitsipas took a 2-0 lead, similar to 2019 when Nadal took a break to throw team off.
So Djokovic did the Tsitsipas strat against him.
He played his own trump card against him.
God damn.
I wonder if his dad even took a shit as well with if I feel like it's the tradition in the family. The Tsitsipas's have to take a shit every match they go to.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to get all the
Yeah.
shit out, but like in the right moment, like in the middle of a match, you can actually get all your shit out.
I think we all know that growing up, family is important, and for the Tsitsipas's, shitting is important, and it's a way of growing their bond and their love for each other.
2021 Wimbledon should basically already have an asterisk by it because this is one of the worst Grand Slam draws you will ever see. Playing
Di
Christian
Mario.
Garin, Martin Fucsovic, and Denis Shapovalov to get to the Slam final. Give me a fucking break, please. Berrettini in the final, who's basically been a joke ever since that day.
Yeah, he got the Netflix curse.
I mean, to be fair, ever since that series came out, a lot of players have kind of gone downhill. Maybe except for Fritz. He's been up and down a bit, but he's been doing all right for himself.
Fritz has always been kind of shit, so he made it look like it's the Netflix curse.
I mean, he did just win Delray Beach, but then again, it is Delray Beach, so it's not.
Cameron Norrie won that tournament. What does that tell you?
He could have won Rio Open, and he lost to some fucking qualifier, for crying out loud.
Norrie won Indian Wells.
Beating Basler Shivy in the final.
Beating Bash My Girlfriend in the finals.
No, he didn't play Zverev. Zverev lost to Fritz in the quarters. I remember that year.
I'd love to see in a Grand Slam championship match Zverev versus Kyrgios, who's the battle of the beaters.
Didn't that happen?
Okay.
I swear there's been a final between the two.
No, they had sex, those two.
Like I swear, like in Acapulco one year, they played the final.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Kyrgios
won that. No, you're right. Kyrgios won that.
Well, there you go. The all women respecters playoffs.
Yeah.
Also known as the Acapulco final that year.
Exactly. But back to this topic, I did not know fucking Norrie won a fucking Indian Wells tournament. I actually did not know that.
You really didn't know that?
You'd be surprised. The only shocked one I knew was Krachanov winning fucking the Rolex Masters 1000 in Paris. That's the only surprising one I know.
Were you watching in 2022? Fucking Carreño Busta and Borna Coric won the US Open Series Masters back to back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Didn't Coric beat Tsitsipas in a Masters 1000?
Yep.
Yeah, that was that year in the final.
In Cincinnati.
Good times. Yeah, that was like his first tournament back, wasn't it? And then he went on to do the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Fuck all.
Now, speaking of the US hardcourt swing, we move on to everyone's favourite tournament, if you're from Serbia, the 2021 US Open. So this one's pretty obvious. Medvedev dodged playing Alcaraz in the semi-finals. This was the tournament when he was really peaking and starting to become more of a well-known name, but he got injured in the quarterfinal. And as we saw from their next two matches in Indian Wells and Wimbledon in 2023, we know that Alcaraz probably would have destroyed Medvedev. But mainly is the fact that if you look at the final, how much time Djokovic has spent on court compared to Medvedev. So, and also the fact that he'd already played 27 Grand Slam matches that year. So basically Medvedev beat up on an exhausted opponent. So the slam definitely doesn't count.
That was the year Djokovic just started fucking crying during his match, right?
Yeah, that was during the final. What's funny about that is after he started crying, he actually got one of the breaks back in the final set. And he was even pretty close to getting the second break back. So I think if he had just cried after the first point, then he would have won in straight sets.
I guess all it takes is crying to make a comeback.
And he's got that special drink.
Yeah, that
the magic
drink.
potions.
There was like an interview. They asked him what kind of drink, like ingredients is in it, and he struggled to like fucking answer.
He's a tennis player. He's not a scientist.
Yeah, he doesn't know what kind of steroids are in there.
Touche.
I think when they ever played each other, Novak and Rafa, that their bottles got mixed up and they didn't notice because it's like the same steroids. That must have happened at least once. They've played each other like 5 times at least, right?
Yep.
Anyways, I reckon on to 2022 Australian Open. Fuck, I stuffed up there before.
Oh boy, now we're entering.
Obviously, shut the fuck up, Aaron. I'm speaking. I love you, buddy. Australian Open 2022 was the return of none other than the gay lord himself, Rafael Nadal. And to the surprise of probably everyone, I don't think anyone was expecting him to win that tournament.
The bigger thing was Djokovic basically being like a Mexican dude crossing into the American border, getting found out, and being deported.
Through some bullshit politics that we will not get into, the three-time defending champion was not even allowed to play the tournament.
He was
And this
lied
is also
to.
the same guy. He would have been in Nadal's half, and Nadal's not won a set against this man on a hard court. Forget a match, not one set since 2013, paving
Jesus.
the way for Nadal to win this title. It would also be remiss of me not to mention against Shapovalov, and by the way, Nadal's lucky because Shapovalov had took out Sasha
that
Zverev,
match.
who totally would have beat Nadal. But that's neither here nor there. In the fifth set, after Shapovalov had just won 2 sets and had all the momentum, Nadal took a medical timeout and a toilet break. He combined them to basically take as much time as possible.
Novak has got the medical timeout, and Tsitsipas has the bathroom break.
He took inspiration. And you know what? Everyone needs inspiration in their life. Found inspiration. He pretended to be injured. He took a shit in his pants. It all worked out in the end.
And also, Medvedev completely choked. And my good pal Medi is still depressed to this day about that final.
Pretty sure he's also depressed about this year's final as well.
Was Medi 2 sets up in that year too in the finals?
Yeah, up 2 sets, up 3-2, 40 love, 3 break points.
Jesus.
And he still lost.
Good old Medi.
Call it voodoo, call it steroids, call it choking, call it an asterisk because the slam doesn't count.
Yeah, fair. Anyways, I think we can all agree that we can skip Roland Garros.
Absolutely not. I have so much to say about the 2022 French Open.
Are you saying that because you want to talk shit about Rude?
I want to talk shit about most things in this tournament. So the doping agenda is probably the strongest this tournament because he was borderline bragging about everything that he was injecting into his numb foot that he couldn't feel a thing on. And apparently he felt so bad and so injured throughout this whole tournament that after playing 2 4-hour matches in a row against Felix and Novak, he did a 90-minute practice session after. Like, why would that happen if you were not doping? So let's get that out of the way for one thing. Secondly, we all know Felix choked because he's a fucking choker. And his coach was Tony Nadal, playing against Tony Nadal's own nephew. So it's pretty obvious that Tony basically had a gun to Felix's head coming into the 5th set to say, let my nephew win this because he's already got 50 French Opens, but that's not enough. Then we get onto the fucking embarrassment of a semi-final. Even removing Zverev choking both the first and second set, he should have been 2 sets up. And his fucking ankle exploding shouldn't have even happened, but it did. So you're playing against an in-form opponent playing the tennis of his life, who should have already had a 2-set lead on you, but you've used your voodoo powers and whatever else to get out of it. And he fucking goes up for a smash, and his fucking ankle shatters so badly that he doesn't play the rest of the year in an official match. And then you play Casper Ruud in a final. And you're going to tell me this slam counts? Get that the fuck out of here. This slam does not count.
Yeah, and if everyone saw the last video, they already know Casper Ruud sucks dick in slam finals.
He just sucks dick in every tournament, but he also sucks. He mainly sucks dick in Grand Slams. We just want you all to keep that in mind. Yeah. And if you also like sucking dick, why don't you subscribe and like and comment on this video? You know, that'd be great. Tell us what kind of dick you like.
He doesn't suck dick in Clay 250 events, so he has an easy draw.
He literally just lost to Thompson yesterday.
Was it on clay?
No, it was not on clay. It was on hard court, but it was a 250.
Exactly. It wasn't on clay, so it doesn't count. As Rafa Nadal fans will tell you, every tournament in the world should be on clay, or it's just not fair.
Yeah, and Ruud, he's been having issues because I think his dad needs to suck off ATP again. I think it's been quite a while since the last time he did it.
I'd like to say that he should go on his knees and do something else as well, and then maybe the son can get some more easy draws.
I think that's going to boost his son to become world number one day. Actually, you know what? Can we let this sink in for a sec? This man almost became world number 1.
He was 1 point
let that
away.
Sink in for a sec. He was 1 point away. Had Sinner been Alcaraz in the US Open, Ruud would have been number 1 in the world.
And then tennis would have died.
It just would have ended.
Who the fuck is this guy?
that
no more tennis after that day.
Yeah, that would have been the last season of tennis.
Yeah, and Alcaraz cleared the air for that. 2022
2022 one. So ignoring the fact that Russian and Belarusians were not allowed to play, that already cleared the path for Djokovic, that 2 of the top 10 players in the world weren't allowed to play this tournament. This also gave him the first seed, which was crucial, because if you look at the second seed, Nadal was the second seed at Wimbledon 2022. Nadal had a much harder draw in comparison to Djokovic that tournament. So Djokovic got to play bums like Cameron Norrie and Timmy van Rijthoven playing his second ever tournament. Also the fact that Sinner just flat out choked, again, leading 2-0. Totally threw it away because we all know the Serbian mafia had put out a hit on Sinner once he took a 2-0 lead. And also you got to play fucking Nick Kyrgios in the Slam final. Come on.
Still sad about that. Nick could have won it all.
But now he's on OnlyFans.
Do you really think Nick had
You
a
know
chance
what?
to win that?
I mean, he won the first set, and the way he had been playing that entire tournament and the entire year, he kind of had hopes.
But I
He's
feel
always
like
talked about how Wimbledon is his favourite.
Kyrgios had 2 40-love chokes in the second and third set. There's entirely a chance he could have won both those sets and won in straights.
Alright, let's get to fucking US Open. US Open. I'm mad. Still mad about that Sinner game. Oh, not happy about that still. You all know who won that tournament. Again, Casper Ruud managed to sneak into the championship final. Like, again, I don't know how the fuck he made it again. And again, he lost, and Alcaraz won.
Alcaraz's 2022 US Open is fake because Djokovic was not allowed to play.
there was like a scenario where he could have taken like a boat from I don't know where to get to the US and he could have played.
Yeah, he could have done some dumb shit like that, but
Yeah, he could have become an immigrant and snuck across the border.
do we know anyone like that from any Eastern European countries in Canada?
P711.
I get boner on leg press and dong crutches.
What the fuck? Oh my fucking god. You know what? Let's just get to the next one. Jesus Christ. The Australian Open of 2023. Now that tournament was the return of Novak.
And once
Was it?
again, he thought, that
Oh, wait.
fake injury thing worked a treat 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it
Oops.
again, but this time with my hamstring.
Yeah, he gave me that Britney Spears vibe, you know. Oops, I did it again. And
I made
Tsitsipas
you
came.
believe.
And speaking of that,
they did.
Tsitsipas didn't shit himself the entire time in that tournament. So that was a surprise. Probably up until the championship, he.
In fact, if we are going to ad-lib this, Tsitsipas was very lucky to beat Yannick Sinner in the first place. And if Sinner had beaten Tsitsipas in the fourth round, he would have had to beat Lehechka and Khachanov to make the final. And as we saw this year, Sinner owns Djokovic, especially in the hard courts. So I think it's pretty clear that
And,
Novak will lost Sinner.
and another thing to point out is had Tsitsipas won the AO. Thank the fucking Lord he didn't. He would have been world number 3.
He would have been world number 1.
Oh,
if
would he?
he'd won
Oh,
that
okay. Sorry, I got
Wimbledon.
mixed up. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're smarter than me. I forgot I'm stupid. Thank you. I appreciate you caught me red-handed. Thank you.
Didn't he get to world number 3, Tsitsipas?
Yeah,
did,
he
did.
was world number 3 after that tournament.
And then
but
he
would
met
have
and
been
then he
number
met the
1.
world number 1 Podosa, and he got a boner.
And he decided, I'm never going to play good tennis again.
We're gonna play good this. And look at him now. He's world number 12 in the rankings. And
Go fucking Alex de Minaur.
Deminor, how good. And speaking of that, we get to Roland Garros, where this one was same, but different. Casper Ruud, again, going through his competition, making it to the championship final, versing another GOAT in the tennis league, which was Novak Djokovic. Now again, I want to have this conversation real quick. You know, we know Novak pulls the little fake injuries and little oopsies and daisies, but can we talk about fucking his game against Carlos Alcaraz, where Alcaraz decided, despite in a hot fucking weather, I'm not going to drink any water or hygiene. I'm just going to make myself feel tired and feel cramped. Like, how fucking stupid can you be in a weather like that to not hydrate yourself and be prepared?
You can be as harsh on Carlos as you want for that. It's a very common experience for a young growing woman to ignore the signs of her period cramps. So
I was just going to
I sympathise with Alcaraz as a strong, independent woman, struggling
Well,
through
you-
his period cramps and still finishing the match. What a
You're
hero.
going to say you're going to simp on him. Never mind. Yeah, Novak won that game. We all know what happens in the championship match. Rude went on to do what Rude does, lose.
Okay, so in Wimbledon 2023, it's pretty obvious that in the fourth round, Alcaraz played Berrettini, who already had a Netflix curse and he'd had a ton of injuries at this point. And we also saw Berrettini make the final 2 years ago, so I think it's pretty clear that if Berrettini had actually been fit and playing his best tennis, he would have absolutely trounced Alcaraz here. There's no debate. And also, Djokovic majorly choked the final. He had set point in the second set tie break, he had break point in the fifth set, and he threw it away, and that literally never happened. So it's either Spanish voodoo or it's steroids, just like our other favourite Spaniard player, Robert Batista Agut.
Headed to the US Open, where Novak claimed his victory. And again, shout out to Mehdi in the chat, on Discord. Again, unlucky for your guy again, Daniil Medvedev. Unfortunately, losing to Novak in the US Open. And let's just all admit there was nothing too special about the US Open last year.
Yeah, I would like to also
The big
add.
asterisk here is simply the fact that it's obvious that once Laszlo Djere had a two-set lead, that he was threatened with assassination once he returned to his home country of Serbia. So he had to throw the match to save his own life. There was no other way.
He did it for his own country. And what were you saying before, Matt, before you got interrupted?
I was going to say, in that Wimbledon final, that was the day that Alcaraz saved tennis. Before that, no one was thinking, oh, these next gen, they're going to do anything. And that was the day Alcaraz secured it. It's fucking next generation now.
You sounded like you had a fucking stroke there, Matt, when you did that voice.
Okay, well,
as we've seen from all the titles that Alcaraz has gone on to win since Wimbledon, he has truly ushered in his own era.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty much the asterisk on this year's Australian Open is that Djokovic had the cold, or he had the flu, or he had hysterical pregnancy, or he had juvenile diabetes. He had some kind of ailment, because you saw his performance in the first two matches, and then playing like that against Sinner, where he's basically a corpse. I don't even know how he won that third set, let alone won a game. Sinner just absolutely took a shit all over him. I think it's pretty clear that if Djokovic had been healthy, that he would have ran through Sinner, because he doesn't have a soul. I also, once again, Medvedev choked in the Australian Open final. Playing Medvedev in the Australian Open final is basically a free pass, because you can play as shit as you like for the first two sets of the match and you know you're still going to win. Medvedev even had a break point late in the fourth, didn't convert it, choked it away, you know the rest.
2024 tennis is going to take a huge leap, and we're going to see a lot of new players rise to the occasion, and it's an exciting time to be a tennis fan in 2024.
We're going to see a lot of Sinner in gay Italian photo shoots for Gucci and all those brands. Hugo Boss.
Have you seen that one where he's in like a singlet?
I saw one where he was like in a wife beater today, actually.
Do you reckon Zverev and Kyrgios helped him out?
Yeah.
That one's got some advice there.
The picture of him, I don't know what brand it's for, but he's like in a wife beater. He looks so bad. Everyone's saying he looks skinny and chubby at the same time.
Well, to wrap up this video, let's make our predictions for the 3 remaining slams of the year.
I was going to say that.
And how we think we'll be able to put an asterisk on said slams.
I can easily say that Max Purcell is winning all those 3 Grand Slams, because it's Max Purcell, and he's a critic when it comes to drinking coffee on his Insta story.
And the asterisk says that he won all the finals by default because a rock fell from the sky and killed his opponent on the
No. They retired because he had so much riz, and that mullet, like, you can't resist. They just fell in love with him, but we could all agree. Aaron, you're saying Purcell's winning them all. Matt, you're saying Purcell's winning them all. I'm saying Purcell's winning it all. Everyone that likes, comments, and subscribes to this channel agrees that Purcell's going to win. And if you don't, then fuck off.
Hell no, I don't want... Purcell's not winning shit, son. He's not even winning the 250.
And why? You reckon Fritz is going to fucking win?
No, I'll tell you what. Roland Garros is going to be a... Shit. Hold on, I got to think about this, actually.
Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Fuck, I would hate that shit. I can't even say it.
I'll let you speak, Matt, but I'll just say this real quick. I'll be serious with my picks. I'll let you go first. I need to think about it.
All right, Roland Garros. I'm just going to give it to Rafa. Asterisk on the doping. Wimbledon, I'll give it to Sinner this year. Asterisk on being ginger. US Open, I'll give it to... Let's see. Fuck. I'll give it to Medvedev. Asterisk on him killing Ukrainians.
For
This is
me, I'm
fucking
going to
gross.
say for Roland Garros, I'm going to give it to Spanish Leighton Hewitt, also known as Carlos Alcaraz. And the simple asterisk here is that he's also a doper and he's got a ton of acne, which is very distracting for his opponent. At Wimbledon, I'm going to give it to Djokovic this year, and the asterisk says that he's Croatian. And for the US Open, I'm going to give it to everyone's favourite amateur boxer, Alexander Zverev. And I'm going to say the asterisk here is that he should have been fighting in a court rather than on a court.
All right, what about
With
you?
my prediction.
Yeah, tell us your
Yes, mate,
prediction.
yes. For the clay tournament, for Roland Garros, I am going to say Carlos Alcaraz, and my reason, for every point he gets, for some reason he needs to unnecessarily yell out "vamos," so there's that. And it's kind of
Vamos!
distracting and annoying. Like legit, it'll be like 0-0 first set. He'll get 15 love, and then he'll start yelling "vamos" at the most unnecessary points. Then we head to Wimbledon.
Vamos!
Shut the fuck up, Aaron. I'm speaking. And Wimbledon, I'm gonna pick Novak. I think he can recover and gain momentum in that one. And my reason, he likes pulling hammies. So there's that. And in the US Open, I'm going to
Vamos!
say for the US Open. Jesus. For the US Open, I'm gonna say Yannick Sinner. My reasons, he's a ginger, he has no soul, he likes eating carrots, he has a carrot fan base, and he's very Gucci and handsome, and I'm in love with him.
To conclude this video with something that is totally not engagement bait, a bit of tennis trivia. Comment the last year that we had no repeat Grand Slam winners, that we didn't have someone win 2 Grand Slams in the same season. So all the 4 Grand Slams were won by a different person. Comment the answer to that, and we will have Casper Ruud on the channel, genuinely, for real, 1000% legitimate this time, if you can comment the correct answer.
It's definitely not going to be a fake Casper Ruud, guys. Trust me. We're a channel we're a community that's very committed to bringing you the best, and we promise you this is definitely not AI Casper Ruud or someone putting on an impersonation of Casper Ruud. You can trust us.
It's definitely not P711 from our first video.
Yeah, definitely not him.